Okay, Zach Kushner still out, J.R. Tavai out, Taylor Ashton out, Brian Bauckham out, Marshall Jones was back, Deion Bailey limited, Chris Gallipo basically out, Jeremy Galton out, Curtis McNeil limited, Christian Thomas out, Devon Flournoy out, Junior Palme we discussed had surgery, Charles Burks will now have surgery tomorrow on his knee, and Gio is still out for the year. Abe Markowicz came out during practice, went in for x-rays on his other foot. So obviously we hope that's okay because Abe has had a great camp.
When you say Gallipo's basically out, how does that?
Yeah, he goes through some of the stuff with us, but it's no contact, really just the walkthroughs and some alignment stuff. His shoulder just continues to get banged up whenever we put him out there. And we have to take him out, so we're going to try to rest it.
I know obviously you want to talk about this team, but do you have any comment or anything about the Tennessee ruling?
Well, I don't because, we've been instructed that until it becomes public, not to comment.
How did Marcus Martin do today?
He did well. We put him in there, and when Abe went down, he actually was going with the ones in there. So I think Marcus has a great future here. I think he's a very talented athlete who really loves football, and we're just excited to continue to get his weight down. I think he's down 14 or 16 pounds already.
When you say the other foot for Markowitz, you mean the one that he didn't have surgery on?
Yes.
Mark Tyler was obviously out here today. What is his status?
What's the next step in the process of Mark hopefully coming back? And so this isn't a major step. He's not okay. He's not cleared for the second game. This was just something that we had in place as he goes through this process, the number of steps, and the next one was to bring him out here. Threw him down on service team. For the most part, got a couple runs with the twos there. But, we'll see. This is still all up to Mark, and this has changed nothing regarding his playing status. We'll just mix him in there some in practice, especially with the service team, so he'll get beat up down there going against our one defense.
And assuming he stays on the straight and narrow, he'll continue to practice every day?
Yes.
As some of these position battles are sorting out, along the offensive line and running back, how is that affecting preparation for Minnesota?
Well, I wish that we had it a little bit more nailed, and then Abe going out today confused it a little bit. So it's just part of what everybody goes through. Hopefully that as we get going, that everybody's back. We did put in all first and second down stuff today for Minnesota, get a head start there. Our first shot with our service teams of teaching them how we need them to give looks and pulled some guys in some different spots to help us out. For instance, using George as their quarterback to give us somebody that's big and fast and strong, like Marquise. So it was good to work through that for the first day.
It seemed like in the service team period that Cody was the second quarterback up. Does that mean that he is the second quarterback?
Well, we have headed down that direction. I think I know both of them. We have great confidence, could go in and play right now. This was not a big competition that Cody won necessarily. It was just what we went with, to give him the 2 snaps. And regardless of whether he were to play as a 2, good, bad, or indifferent, whenever Matt leaves, the competition will be wide open. And, we'll start over because we have great confidence in both of them.
So you have to pick somebody, in other words, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And so we went with Cody. Really, I know it's abnormal to hear, it really is not even a reflection upon their play. They both played so well, it could be either of them.
Does that mean Max will redshirt?
We don't know. Ideally we'd love to redshirt both of them. And so there's just all kinds of scenarios that can pop up that we're ready for and have different answers for. But ideally the best one is to keep the number 1 guy healthy and hopefully win some games, let Mnuchin hand the ball off at the end, and keep them both redshirted.
Are you starting to make some decisions about which freshmen will and won't redshirt?
Nothing's been finalized. Some things start to, you obviously have to move that direction. But we're not having a bunch of redshirt conversations right now because there's too many variables still. We saw one today. I think some people would have said Marcus Martin would be redshirting 24 hours ago, and today he was in with the 1, so you never know.
So have you made any redshirt decisions?
No, because you remember the process. There is no, it's not like you file a redshirt. If they don't play, they redshirt. And so some of these things go through a couple weeks of the season, and then you play them. So once you play them, they can't redshirt, and you don't have to make any definite declarations.
You said Burks is having knee surgery?
Yes.
How serious a knee surgery is this?
He'll be out for the year.
Is it an ACL or something like that? Or?
Yeah, I believe it is, and there's a little bit more, some complications with it, but basically, yes.
Is there an update or timeline on Javarius Allen joining the team, or deadline for what?
No, just they're still in the process of working everything through the clearinghouse, and if he gets cleared, then he'll be here.
How come Robert was in the yellow jersey?
His elbow is pretty banged up, and as you can see, if you look close, it's really big, and so we just don't want to take any more hits on it.
Seems like a couple of the freshman receivers stepped up and were making some good plays today. Is there anyone there that you see emerging as a leader?
Yeah, I think Marquise Lee has really kind of gone to the top of the list there in what he's done, and he's competing to start right now. And so he continues to put together great practices one after another, and it's very unusual to see somebody able to do that as a true freshman, not being here in the spring.
At what point do you want to say, okay, this is the starting offensive line, or this is a tailback rotation? Is it by early next week, or when?
A month ago. I mean, really, that's the reality. You want to as soon as you can, but you can't do it until you know, and so until it shows itself, it's hard to do.
What has Amir Carlisle done in practices and meetings to impress you as a freshman?
Maturity, preparation for the game. Very similar to the two guys last year that had the great freshman years, and Robert Woods and Nikel Roby, their approach to the game. And I've said it before, it's so rare for true freshmen to make impact, regardless of how physically talented they are, unless they are mentally prepared and driven and focused, because there's so many distractions as a freshman, and 90% of the freshmen go through those. And very, very rarely do you find guys like this that are so focused.
Does he remind you of anyone? He's a small guy, but he runs awfully hard.
Not really, not that we've necessarily had. He is really physical, but he is a little bit slight. But I think he's going to have a great future here.
Do you have two tailbacks yet? You said you wanted to play two, ideally.
No, we still haven't figured it out. And DJ Morgan at times is 50%, 75%, 100%, so we don't know. Curtis seems to be banged up every day with something. So no, we don't.
That's good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.